So making Instagram Reels or TikToks or now YouTube Shorts, these are simple steps that I've started doing over the past 6 months that have really taken my page to that next level, and tips that I wish I knew whenever I first started out. If you're new to the page, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm working on a video right now to show you the exact workflow that I do when it comes to editing my Reels. So let's get into it. So whenever I first started out, I was doing a lot of things in-app, inside Instagram app, inside the TikTok app, when it came to editing or creating these Reels. And that was good and it was fine, but I was missing out on almost the creative side of the things that I could really hone in on. I'm an editor, background's been editing for 15-20 years, and I've used Adobe Premiere my entire life. So I decided to go in search of finding another third-party app, something that I can edit and really hone in on when it comes to text, when it comes to transitions. There had to be something out there, and I found several different apps, and I'll do another video after this to kind of walk you through my workflow when it comes to that. But my first tip for you is to establish what kind of video that you want to tell. What kind of reel is it? Is it a single shot? If it's a single shot, there's no need for you to go to a third-party app to edit. But if it's one that's going to have photos, videos, several different cuts, you may be better off adding a third-party app when it comes to creating things for those different platforms. Plus, you can create one video that you can share across multiple platforms. So you can create one video for TikTok that you can still use in Instagram, you can still use in YouTube, and you can choose different types of music based on different platforms, and that's all up to you. So that's what my first tip is establish what type of video you want to do. A one shot or one with several different cuts. That's going to depend on the type of tool that you use to put the video together. So my next tip was one thing that I've kept running into whenever I was sharing on Instagram Reels. I was selecting just Reels, and this really kind of limited my audience. So the people that were already following me on my feed were not seeing any of my Reels. So my Reels were going to a very select small group of audience. So maybe a couple of dozen that would see it, and that would be it. So I started changing that up about 6 months ago whenever I started sharing to my feed as well. So I was sharing both on feed and on Reels, and this allowed my following to see and engage, like, comment, and potentially share my content that showed Instagram that this was worthy, that people are engaging and find it interesting. So this gave Instagram almost like the green light, the okay to share it with other like-minded individuals. And this is one thing that really I started to see my videos kind of skyrocket from that point versus just sharing it just to Reels. I just only had a couple of dozen just on Reels, and then once I started sharing it to the feed, it really took off from there. And the other thing that I've started doing to really take it to that next level is started to share things on stories. Stories to me acts like almost a notification over the people that you follow. Things would pop up and you're willing to click on to see what they uploaded. So if you upload a latest Reel and you share it on there, there's a chance that whoever's following you will get that notification that you have a reel or you have a post that's interesting. And the chances that they will click on it are much higher than maybe them not potentially ever seeing it because they follow thousands of different people or hundreds of different people on their social media platforms. So being able to share your reels to your stories can act as a notification for some to see that work. So I encourage you to definitely dig in on that and kind of make that almost a priority every time you create even a post or anything like that, to share it to your stories, to start using stories as more of a notification bell than just sharing on a story. So if you're like me, Instagram has always been a photo app, and this is kind of the next thing that kind of bugged me about sharing on my feed, because I did not want to mess up my grid, which was just photos or my cinematic videos that were just made for my grid. And of course, when you add a reel, it kind of throws a little wrench in there and doesn't separate that at all. But one thing that I've started doing and I've started testing out, and it works the same, is you go in after you share it with your feed and it does post onto your Instagram grid, is go in and remove it from your grid. And this will have no effect on removing it from your feed. So you will still have the feed benefits without it being on your grid and hogging up your grid. So if it does bug you enough, go in, select the video, and remove from grid. And again, that this has no impact on those views from your feed. And one final tip that I have for you is to really kind of find that magic number that works for you. So for me, it's about 15 to 20 seconds when creating these reels or TikToks or YouTube shorts. That gives me enough time to really kind of pull in the viewer, give them what they need, and then have them move on. And this will cause them to potentially go back and repeat if they want to watch it again, and that counts as another view. So finding that sweet spot that works for you when it comes to telling your types of stories is always important, and kind of stay in that ground. If it is 60 seconds, create 60 seconds. If it is 30 seconds, remain at 30 seconds. So finding that sweet number is what has helped me over the last 6 months. So what are the types of videos that you're creating? I want to know. Be sure to comment below, leave your Instagram handle, and I will definitely check it out and let me know if you have any questions. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe, because I'm working on a video that's going to show my exact workflow when it comes to working with InShot, an app that I use for all of my Instagram stories, or all my Instagram reels, my YouTube shorts, and TikToks. Until next time.